Welcome back. Well, Idris Faro joins us next. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, actually two things, but how do we squeeze this in? Well, maybe we should get your views first and foremost on this judgment that you've seen so far, the election tribunal in Taraba. Right or wrong?
Good morning, viewers. The decision of the tribunal in the election petitions in Taraba is sound, it is valid, and it is in consonance with law. It is a plus for Nigerian women, and I heartily welcome the decision. It's a good decision.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you say so quickly?
Well, it is good because it represents the aspirations and wishes of the ordinary Tarabans. And not only that, it is good because it aims at preaching constitutionalism and legality. Legality in the sense that things must be done in accordance with law and nothing else. If the law prescribes a procedure for the conduct of election or for doing certain things, it must be strictly done in accordance with that law and nothing more. Right. We must stop impunity in this country.
Okay. Then the other matter is this fight against corruption. Well, we had two lawyers who also spoke about it briefly, saying, well, now that we have changed our leadership, well, many thought that, look, or maybe we should get your thoughts on it. Is this going to give new verve to the EFCC? Because, I mean, the president has always spoken about his intention to fight corruption to a standstill. You see this happening with the commission?
Well, I believe that the change in the leadership of the anti-corruption agency, EFCC, will give fillip to the anti-corruption fight. We need to have new, fresh blood in the fight against corruption. There are competent people who can lead EFCC. We don't need to continue with hold hands, especially those whose character are tainted one way or the other. They are credible Nigerians who are honest and diligent and can fight corruption to a standstill. So I believe strongly that the change in the leadership of EFCC will bring about the desire in the anti-corruption fight.
What about the investigative components where prosecution have got to do a good job of an investigation?
Well, I must say that EFCC, police, and other anti-corruption agencies like ICPC must increase or overhaul their investigative ability. Over the time, cases have been bungled because of poor investigation. There is lackluster attitude in investigation of people who are alleged to be corrupt. So there is absolute need for the agencies to retrain their operatives and change their style of investigation, because if investigation is not credible or good, the case will be bungled at the end of the day. And corruption will continue.
Some people say that the commission should be led by a prosecutor, not necessarily an ex-police officer, because the prosecutor is the one who directs the investigation.
Well, ordinarily, policemen are trained in the conduct of prosecution, in the heart of prosecution. But also, there is need, of course, they have lawyers in EFCC. They have prosecutors who are lawyers. So I think what we need is to retrain them and not necessarily having the head who is a trained prosecutor. If we have competent prosecutors amongst them, they will deliver the goods and the job will be properly done.
Once Mr. Nuhu Ribadu did say, if you fight corruption, corruption fights back. Do you think that that is what is going on in the country now?
Well, I think what the man means by that statement is that corruption is endemic in our society. Ordinarily, when you fight corruption, why should it fight you back? If you have a credible institution, corruption should run away when you fight it and not fight you back. But because we don't have credible institutions, that's why it tries to fight back. But I believe that if the institutions are strengthened and fortified, corruption will not fight back and will be banished completely.
What do you think about the concept of plea bargaining? Because there are those who think that, look, we need to also explore various other aspects other than sending people to jail.
Well, there are several sentences. Let's put plea bargaining aside now, because corruption is endemic in our society. There are other sentences apart from custodial sentences. There are fines, there is forfeiture, and there is community service.
What should the intention be? Isn't it to recover the money?
Well, the intention should not only be to recover the money, but to punish severely those who are corrupt, public officers who are corrupt. It's not sufficient for the money alone to be recovered. The people should be dealt with accordingly.
So
custodial sentence is import community service. Yes, and custodial sentences, that's imprisonment. It's also important. It's not sufficient for you to say, oh, you have recovered certain sum, and you say, oh, go and sin no more.
But considering how difficult, those kinds of cases can be, do you think that that is actually the wise way to go?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
I was saying that considering how difficult, cases of corruption can be, these people have immense wealth at their disposal oftentimes, and, can also wage a war, as it were, financially. Do you think that that's actually would that be a wise way to go?
Well, you see, the issue boils down to leadership of the country. If you have a sincere, honest, and committed leadership, corruption will be made to go to the lowest ebb in the society. I don't subscribe to the idea that people are rich, they are influential, and as such, corruption cannot be fought. One man can change things. You need a leader to move the people. If you have a leader who is competent, who is honest, and who is sincere in the fight against corruption, corruption will be a thing of the past in this country.
All right, Idris Faro is a legal practitioner. Thank you for your thoughts today. And that also ends our look on the program today. We thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Oh dear, no comments today. Out of time. Thank you so much.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman. I'll see you again.